Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining me. I am going to talk about the astrology for the next couple of days. So that will include October 10, 11, and 12. My intent with this video is just to help us just navigate what's going on these days. And I am going to focus on a few of the specific aspects that we all have to work with and to, like filter through, process, whatever it may be. So it doesn't matter what your zodiac sign is. So I'm going to share my screen so those that are astrologers get to see what I'm looking at. And if you're not an astrologer and you just don't be concerned with what's on the screen, I'm going to tell you what I see. And that way, I want you to be able to just write down what resonates with you, because not everything resonates with everybody. All right. So again, it doesn't matter what your zodiac sign is. It matters that you listen to the energy of what these things that I'm focusing on are talking about. And just to give you a heads up too, all of the times I give you are for Eastern Daylight Time. So you will need to adjust for your own time zone. But that aside, the energy is still present for all of us. Okay. So here's the first thing I wanted to talk about. And this is the moment that Mercury goes back into the sign of Libra. It was there at the end of August as retrograde. And so now we're back into Libra territory with Mercury. The exact shift of this is on Monday evening at 7:51 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And so Mercury all day on Monday has been in the sign, the final degree of Virgo, and that is intensity. Now, I know in Canada, it's your Thanksgiving. In the United States, we celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day or Columbus Day, depends on where you live. And so it's a holiday for at least North America. And so for the rest of the country, the world, it doesn't matter. It's not a holiday. The thing is, it's like we're focusing on details, and we're also in a void of course period until about 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And that means we're trying to get things done. We're honing in on details. You guys can't see what's going on right down here. I've got like 4 projects going, and I'm honing. This is one I'm ticking off my list, because there's just a lot on my mind. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that feel that way too. We're going to be feeling this today on Monday, October 10th, and it will linger into the next couple of days, as well as some other aspects that we'll talk about now. So just remember, Mercury in Libra, we're honing. Well, I talked about Mercury in Virgo, but Mercury in Libra, now that it's in that sign, finding the balance and not being overwhelmed, finding that harmony and that focus in what it is that you're processing, you're working on, especially when it comes to the partnerships and relationships. Mercury is in an applying aspect opposite to Jupiter in Aries. So that does tell me that relationships of any kind, partnerships of any kind, are absolutely at the top of the list of things that we're trying to seek and find that balance and harmony with. All right. Cooperation, collaborations. The full moon in Aries felt that way too. All right. The next chart is the sun, quincunx, Uranus. That is Tuesday morning, October 11, 5:13 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. However, we're feeling it all day on Monday, October 10th. And that is the sun making a quincunx aspect to Uranus. That's a toughie. All right. That is a lot of adjustments. And we will feel when the sun finally does get to be opposite Uranus, we're going to be having a full moon lunar eclipse on November 8th. So we're in this eclipse time frame. We're just about to the next one. I'll make a forecast on that soon. But this day, Monday and Tuesday, the 10th and the 11th, really feeling the need for some adjustments. Like even when you're sitting here and you want to make that adjustment, a simple adjustment to your britches, or, fix yourself in the seat so you feel more comfortable. And I know those are simple explanations, but I want you to think of it that way, because this is how astrology can work. What simple adjustments do you need to make so you can find the harmony, Libra, balance, Libra that you're looking for? Uranus in Taurus, Uranus is saying, let's step up and do something different a little more innovative. All right. Doesn't have to be a big thing because we're talking about daily activities, but a daily thing that you do can add up, and there's a domino effect and create a bigger change that you personally are looking for. All right. Next, Sun trine Saturn. I know I'm talking fast. You can go down to X.75 here on YouTube. You could slow me down. Sun trine Saturn. It is in the evening of October 11th, Tuesday, October 11th, 9:07 p.m. Now that's happening, as you can see here, the same time the sun is still making the quincunx to Saturn, and to Uranus, and it is making that trine aspect to Saturn, and that is very earthy, very grounded. So we can feel some groundedness in the air, the thoughts, the ideas that we have in our head. Okay. This is real. The moon on this day is really close to where it's going to be eclipsed on November 8th. So this is a time frame. Yeah, it's at 16 Taurus. So Tuesday night, which is from this posting, is tomorrow night. Tuesday night, October 11th, is when the moon will be at 16 Taurus, which is when where it is also eclipsing in 1 month. Important to keep track. Journal right now, journal right now. If it doesn't have to be something that you do every day, because I know that is quite a task for some people, but definitely journal right now while we're in midst of a lot of humongous changes in the planet and in our own lives. All right, and let's go to Wednesday, October 12th, Mars square Neptune. Now, let me grab my notes. I have the dates on this side of the page. On the 12th, Mars will square Neptune for the first of 3 times, since Mars will retrograde soon, October 12th. It's at 1:46 a.m., so it's in the middle of the night. Again, what happens with this? So it happens on this date, October 12th. It will also happen when Mars is retrograde, and that will be on November 20th. And then the third hit won't be till March 15th of next year. Mars in Gemini is very, very gregarious, very animated, full of information, and ready to write those words, write that op-ed, to get involved in things, because that's what Mars does. Mars is fire. It wants to be involved. It wants to engage in a lot of activities. In the sign of Gemini, it is all about the power of words. All right. So that is what that represents. It is making that square aspect, however, to Neptune. And here is Mars, and there's the 90-degree angle over here to Neptune in Pisces. Now, that's going to water things down, because we may feel like we want to be very assertive or very aggressive in our communicating and our words. However, the water energy of what Neptune in Pisces does, it just sort of, all of a sudden we can feel like somebody, threw some water on the fire, just like throwing water on a campfire. It just smothers it right out. So we might be feeling unsure. Should I have said that? All right, now I need to make a decision. Now I'm indecisive, because now all of a sudden we're not able to see clearly. This first connection here on October 12th, again, so we're feeling it on the 10th, the 11th, the 12th, and even further on both sides of those dates. We can feel very aware of what it is that we want to be, how we want to speak, what we want to communicate, what we want to write. We can feel very animated about that. It's when the retrograde hits, which is when Mars is retrograde. And that will be on November 20th, when it makes the second square as a retrograde planet to Neptune. And is Neptune retrograde then? Let's take a peek. I want to look at my ephemeris here. If you don't know what an ephemeris is, it is the mathematical graph of where all the planets are. Excuse me, my fingers. Hey guys, well, I'm doing this too. I'm going to do the Astro dice in a minute as well. I like to pull those Astro dice. I haven't done it in a while. And yes, Neptune is still retrograde. Neptune is retrograde to December 3rd. So both Neptune and Mercury will be retrograde on November 20th when that second hit comes. But journal. I want you to journal. If that is interesting to you, just right now, not all year if it's too boring to you. But I want you to do it, because this is going to be so important. to write down our thoughts, our dreams, our hopes, and the ideas that we have, because once we get through part of the next couple of months, some things will work and some things won't, and we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, we're in a very dynamic period in life right now. It's huge. And we even have Mars and Pluto. This measurement over here, where my mouse is wiggling, is called contraparallel. And since they're nice and tight with each other over in this type of measurement, they're not connected in this measurement, because this is their box that they share. There's nothing there by aspect, but what is here is they're feeling like an opposition. So we're feeling this Plutonian energy of power and control that is either coming over us, and since we're in midterms here in the US elections, that's just going to be unbelievable. It's just, I don't know. I have to stop listening. I know who I want to vote for, and I'm going to make sure I do my research, and do your own too. But the back and forth is too much. So, and that being said, I've turned off monetization. So if you feel like supporting me in any way possible, since I'm not monetizing anything for the next few weeks until elections is over, I would really appreciate that, because this is my livelihood. All right. We're going to do the Astro dice. And this in here, if you're new, especially, we just ask Spirit just for additional content, additional information, and you can just ask a question yourself, and I will read the Astro dice. So it's the astrology. I just roll the planet, the signs, and the houses. And so what I came up with was the sun. It rolled up the sun in Sagittarius. And whoops, I hit the thing, but it came up in the 12th house. I don't know, it's on there somewhere. So the sun in Sag in the 12th house. So we asked Spirit for an extra message. And if you had a question, this would be the time that you would have asked that too. The sun is very fiery. The planet is fire in nature. It's a fixed fire. So that means that, it's the ego and what we're focusing on. Sagittarius is about information and truth. The 12th house is the things that are hidden from us, or that we hide from ourselves. So the additional information here is that if you're ready and willing and able, you can do your research and pull your own truth to the surface. Get your truth out there, get that information in any way that you feel that you want to use it. So the truth will come out over these next few weeks. We know, sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. That's the political situation in this country these days, actually the world. I don't know what to believe anymore. I mean, I know what I believe. That's just a off-the-cuff comment. All right, let's do one more thing. Those regulars, my regular people, you guys know we're going to do a card from this deck. Very earthy, very grounded. I mean, I love looking at nature. I love comparing with nature. And of course, a lot of you do too. Spirit of fire. So that is real appropriate for the sun in Sagittarius, because those two do represent an awful lot of fire. So this is about, really get behind what you're passionate about, what you believe in, and what you're passionate about. It's really okay to have debate and dialogue with people. And I feel that's where we are at right now, where instead of just being judgmental, we can have an opportunity to be very fiery and dynamic and have those wonderful conversations and take actions where we feel it's fit. All right. Thank you, everybody. Dorothy Morgan, astrologer.com. Take good care. Blessings and namaste.